Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Afnan Adi bin Omar and I'm from AT1102B. Today I will present about equilibrium minimum price. Okay, minimum price. Minimum price also refer to price floor. It's set by the government. So, for example, farmers, then middlemen, then end customer. So when middlemen want to sell the product to the customer, they cannot raise the price of the product at will. Then at the same time, the government want to protect farmers with imposed minimum price. Then price not allowed falling below equilibrium level. So create a supply. The minimum price create a surplus. However, the surplus can be stored for possible future shortage. So for the disadvantage, customer have to pay more to get a particular product. And second, unfair to taxpayer. Because of minimum price, farmer was sell the product at the high price to middleman. Then this is about the disadvantage. Then the middleman need to sell higher price to the customer. So the customer need to pay more to get the particular product. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. My name is Carolina Bemisni and my part is comparison and the effect of the changes in demand and supply on equilibrium price. Alright, let's start with the number one. The first one is the comparison. This comparison is between the maximum price and the minimum price. We start with the maximum price first. Maximum price is also known as a price ceiling, and because the ceiling, one of the top part in our house or building or anything like hotel, any building. Secondly, maximum price can't overcome the equilibrium price because it will be the ridiculous price to pay for something. That's why it's named as a ceiling price, because ceiling price is the second high part in our building, because on the ceiling they still have the roof. So the roof is like the equilibrium price. So under the roof is a ceiling price. That's why it's named as the ceiling. If somebody still rise the price above the equilibrium price, it will make their stuff still be in your store and not be sold, because the stuff that must be, the price must be rational. It's like the price they sell. So here is a few of the maximum price disadvantages. The first one is the emergence of a black market. This will be happen if the price is ridiculously high, and some people will take the opportunity to sell the stuff at the somewhere else with the cheapest price. So up next, the product may exploit the customer. Alright, we move to the minimum price. Minimum price is also known as a price floor, because as we know, floor is the lowest part in our building or anything. And price minimum price is not allowed to be falling below the equilibrium price, because if the minimum price going below of the equilibrium price, it will make the operator get it so much loss and doesn't get any profit. Moreover, the operator will get so much debt by the stuff that they are selling, but they cannot rolling the costs that they have before the business. There's also a few disadvantages of the minimum price, like the consumers have to pay more to get particular products, and it will be unfair to the taxpayers. Next, we move to the second topic, which is the effect of the changes in demand and supply of equilibrium price. The first one is no changes in the quantity demanded or quantity supplied, but change or shift in demand and supply. And after that, when this the second one is when the supply and demand curve shift on the graph, the supply and demand curve, they shift, the equilibrium price and quantity change. So the equilibrium price and quantity, it depends on the supply and demand curve itself. So now we're gonna talk about the effects of indirect tax and subsidy. Alright, for the first topic, we will talk about the effects of the indirect tax. Indirect tax actually is imposed by the government or individual. It also can shift the burden of paying tax on someone else, like the producer and the consumer will bear the burdens. And with that, it also increase the production cost and decrease the supply. And then the market price will increase and the quantity demanded will increase too, followed by the market price. For an example, we can assuming that a carton of cigarettes sell on price at 62 ringgits and 50 cents. Then the government imposing sale tax of the cigarettes of 5 ringgit per carton of cigarettes. So the market price will increase, followed by the tax. If the tax is higher, so the market price will go higher too. Alright, next is the effects of the subsidy. Subsidy is actually, the effect of the subsidy is actually an incentive from government to encourage producer to produce more outputs, and it also will lower the cost of productions, thus increase the profit to the producer. For an example, we can assume that petrol sold at 1 ringgit and 70 cents per liter, but the government provide a subsidy of 20 cents per liter of petrol. So there we can see that the price of the per liter of petrol will decrease around like the government put the subsidy on. So if government put the subsidy like 1 ringgit, so the petrol will sold at price 70 cents per liter, for an example. So I think that's all. Thank you.